Okay, I finally found my camera. And the last thing you may have seen was working on this thing. That is the 700 series, I believe, power steering gearbox for the bigger Chevrolet motors. Or GM motors, whatever. We found it in our old transmission shed, surprisingly. I'll tell you how we found it some other time, but right now, we got that installed about a week or so ago, and it works great. No problems, no leaks. Our biggest problem, so I can try to find a way to get. There we go. Our biggest problem was, let's see, that right there, right in the middle of the screen. That pitman arm, we didn't have one. It did have one on it. Sorry, almost dropped the camera. The problem was we didn't have a pitman arm for it that would fit. The one that came with it was too long, and the old one was the shaft hole was too small. So we ended up having to order one off of eBay. Got it for a good price. I'm not gonna say how much. And that's that. We got that done, and we also decided to replace the fuel pump. Now, unfortunately, you didn't get to see all the fun we did with this dang fuel pump. It's fun. More like chaos. Turn on the light. There we go. Okay. Now, you can see one bolt right there. The other bolt is on the other side, which you probably can't see because I can't see it on the screen. But the way this fuel pump is designed, as you can see, if you other GM guys would know that the fuel pumps on the V8s are the other way. They're bottom side down. Well, this is a V6, and this particular motor is built like this. You can get to that bolt pretty easily once you remove, excuse me. Obviously, first thing you got to do is take the air cleaner off, get it out of the way. Then you take the air pump off. Where'd you go? Take those bolts off for the pulley, pull the pulley off, pull the belt off. Loosen the belt by loosening this bolt, and I believe that bolt right there. And you shove that over, take the belt off. Take the pulley off, and there's two bolts holding this in place. One here, and there's one on the other side. You can't see because the pulley's in the way. And you pull this pump off after you disconnect these lines and such. Then you can have better access to the fuel pump. Now, as I said, that bolt's easy to get to. That one, the other one, not so much. You got probably about that much space to work. We fiddled with it, and we fiddled with it, and we fiddled with it, and we tried. We get a socket on it with a wobble, or not wobble. So I can find the tools where Dad put them. Let's see here. We used this kind of ratchet to access it, but it didn't work. I mean, you could get it on there, but it didn't want to stay. Finally, after fighting with it for who knows how long, we finally decided to try this. Our mini 1/4-inch drive ratchet with, of course, matching 1/2 or 1/2-inch socket. And we could reach it perfectly. Matter of fact, that's how we put it back on. Or, well, we tighten the bolt back up, that is. Now, another thing about these cars, again, most of you older GM guys might know, or just if you know GM engines, or engines in general, this fuel pump is not like the modern day ones. Obviously, the main reason why it goes up here in the motor, not in the back. These fuel pumps, you actually have to readjust the push rod, which I can't show you, obviously. There's a push rod in that hole in the side of the engine. You gotta push it back up, put the fuel pump in there because it's got this little arm kind of like that. You push it down, that's what pumps the gas. Makes sense. But yeah, we have to make sure that's correct, and when you get it on there, you're good to go. But if you don't get it on there correctly, and you try to fire up the motor, it's going to shove that, you're going to bend the pump, you're going to bend that little arm down, and it's also going to break the pump, and it's going to bend the push rod, and you're going to screw up the motor. Luckily, we didn't have that problem. Thankfully. Because my dad's an awesome mechanic, and I hope to be just good at him one day. Alright, now, unfortunately, we discovered that the fuel pump that we had on here, the old one, was, well, the reason we replaced it was because it wasn't working, but we found out why. The diaphragm was gone. It was just dumping fuel into the motor. And we pulled out the dipstick, and I never noticed this, but you pull out the dipstick, you can take a whiff, oh, you can smell gasoline. So I don't know how long it's been doing that. When I first started working on this, it had, you know, golden brown. I say golden brown. It had nice gold-colored oil. After I ran it, I checked it again. Same thing. Here's the old power steering pump, or gearbox. Oh, here's the Pitman arms. I'm up correctly. Here. See the size comparison difference. This is the one that goes on this pump, and that's the one that came off the big one we found. See, it's a little bit too long. Wouldn't work. So we had to get one that was this size hole, but this length. And we did. It works fine. Anyway. So anyway, like I was saying, as you other mechanics may know, gasoline in an engine mixed with oil is very bad. That's what made it smoke. It was smoking for a while. So the only thing we could do is change the oil. So I raised it up. I drained the oil out of it. I could definitely smell the gasoline. And we put 5 or 3 or 4 or 5 quarts of straight 30 weight in there to help flush that gasoline out. We let it run for a while, but we ran out of gas. And that comes to my next problem. Dagnabbit. Whatever. Okay, in the car. There we go. Comes to the next problem we have. That don't look right. Oh, look, it actually works. That's a surprise. Somehow, though, I doubt that's how much gas I have in it. Let's see if we'll start. I'm just going to start it for a second. Now with the new fuel pump, it should start. How about that? Well, maybe not. A couple more. There you go. It'll smoke after it gets hot, but I'm not going to leave it running. Anyway, like I said, I doubt that's what the fuel pump's actually reading. Because when we were working on it, we had it running for a while to burn off that extra gas. And for some reason, it died. Like my dad told me, turn it on or turn it off and see if it'll start well. I turned it off, it started right up, and then it just kind of sputtered and quit. And he said, did it die? And I said, yeah. He said, well, try it again. Couldn't get it to start. And then I noticed the fuel pump was doing what it's doing, way over here. Didn't know why. I believe there's a ground wire I have to fix, or maybe this could be a part of it, since this is part of the windshield wipers and the headlights. Of course, that little light bulb. This whole piece here is not on there because I don't have it in there correctly. I mean, I don't have it finished. It's not done. And also, my dad noticed something. Right up here is where I was sitting. Right up here is where my view is. And I could see the miles pretty well, but I should be able to see that those numbers are a lot better. So I'm wondering, my dad actually told me this. He thinks I have it messed. I don't have it messed up, but He thinks I have it, this metal piece, the black part, it's too far forward, it has to go back more. Well, I couldn't get it to go back any further. But then again, I didn't try. So this is going to be the next thing I work on. I probably won't do it. Anyway, enough about that. So anyway, I got to fix that, and I don't know why I did that, but hey, it started up pretty easily, and I'm pretty happy with that. Of course, we got the new windshield, the actual windshield, the one I didn't crack on that corner over there. I have to put the headliner in it, obviously. I still got the interior. These pieces are there, down there, back there, up there. Of course, the headliner. The door panels, or I couldn't think what they're called. They're up there. I think I can save them. I just need to work at them a bit. If I sand down the old ones, the bottom ones, because they're the plastic ones. If I sand them down really good, I should be able to just paint them up and make them look nice, and I can save them. The upper ones, I'm not sure. They're vinyl, and they look this color, but they're supposed to be tan, and they're pretty. They're still pretty soft. I mean, they're a little stiff, but not terrible. Even though that's kind of messed up. But these are softer than the door panels anyway. But anyway, so I'll see about fixing them so I don't have to buy new ones, because I really don't want to. And I gotta clean these windows. Actually, the next step to working on this beast. Okay, it's not a beast, more like a kitty cat with that little V6 in it, but still. The next step is gonna be some body work. When I have my time off, if I'm not doing mechanical work, it's gonna be body work. Next thing I'm gonna do is start taking all the trim, the excess trim, like this, off. I'm gonna take, obviously I'm gonna take the side marker lights off, the bumpers, tailgate is probably gonna come off. That tailgate is bent pretty badly. I mean, I definitely want to get a new one or fix that one, probably new one. That off. And this whole quarter panel we want to replace. Probably starting about right there, over, down, down, and over to there. And then down and back will be cut off. This part here will still be the same because it's already ready to go pretty much. I don't know how well my rubber, my sealant worked. It takes a heck of a lot better on this side than it does on the other side. The other side was the troublesome side. Anyway, these fenders, like the trim, everything, the mirrors, everything except the door handles, of course. Because we may need to put it back outside, and I can't open the door without door handles. I'm not leaving the windows down. Anyway, I'm going to start working on it more. So, this little emblem here is pretty gnarly on both sides. That side's even worse. So, if they have new ones, I might buy a new one, or I might try to fix it. I don't know. Like I said, I don't want this to be a showstopper. But I want it to look really nice, and I want to be able to drive it. So this motor will not be the original motor in it. We're still debating on either a bigger. I personally want a V8. I don't want a super big block V8 like a 350, and yeah, a 305 is what this came with, and I hear they were crap. So I'd rather not. I'd rather have a decent V8 that's not going to have crap problems, or be really crappy. So, I don't know, we'll figure that out. This stuff just went everywhere. Anyway, so hopefully soon I'll be able to finish this stuff up. Anyway, see ya.